You have pointed a very, very interesting thing, Pankaj. Now, this is a common questions that we keep getting from our founders, that how do we approach you as a group CDO? Because how do we know that you are the key decision maker, if at all? Because yesterday I did this exercise. I just googled, CDO, group CDO, Aditya Birla, and I'm getting like more than 20 personas, and this is where we are getting lost. Now, just now you mentioned it is the IT who is taking the call rather than the COE. So how do one founder navigate this org structure, Pankaj?
Yeah.
If you can throw some light
No,
on
no.
it.
So I think it's a good question to say if you are somewhere outside and you're looking at the market of CDOs, CIOs, IT people in large companies, what should the approach of an outside person be is the question you're asking. And it's a great question. So first of all, just the nomenclature. There are all kinds of nomenclature in the industry. There's CDO, there's CIO, there's CDIO, there is, what have you, right? So I think nomenclatures are useful, but again, they don't necessarily tell you what those people are, responsible
Exactly.
for. So I see, I think the main thing that anyone should be interested in is saying what is the responsibility of the role, you
Okay.
know. So like I said, and how someone has defined it. So in my case, I have defined our team's role, which is a central team, as a evangelist, as an innovation team to help create data culture. The CDOs or CIOs in group companies, their role will be very different. They have to run, they have to enhance the business value and so on and so forth, right? So their purchase need, their engagement with business will be different. So I think it's instructive to know what does that role mean in that context. And
Okay.
secondly, what is the individual style is, because there are enough people who always believe that I can do it all on my own. There's some others who believe that everything can be done by someone else, and I have seen both types of examples. And there's, of course, there are people who will say, okay, some things have to be done on. So I think the openness of those individuals to engage people from the outside is also an important factor, because if there's someone, and we have seen this a lot in the startup ecosystem, and I know friends of mine who were outside trying to quote unquote sell to them, they always felt over a period of time that these people felt that we could do anything in technology on our own. Why would we want to hire someone else? So they would sometimes
Very
listen to
true.
them, not do something at first, sometimes listen to them and copy it and nothing like that, right? So I think based on that, I would think the two things need to be done is what does this role mean in that context? Like I said, in my case, my role is this, the CDO's role is something else. And secondly, what is the individual holding that role have the thought process or the management style to deal with the ecosystem. Some people will say, and I know people who would say, we only use vendors to run the business stuff. Some others say, you know what, we actually leverage outside people to do innovative stuff. And some could do both. So again, different people are different, and we all have seen that. So I would think that if very quickly someone can assess what does that role entail, what is the scope of that role, and what is the management style of the person who's holding that role, I
Okay.
think the combination of that will probably lead to the answer.
Sure. Is there any one, quick LinkedIn activity that you can tell to our audience? I mean, how can they, a two-step process, how to qualify that, if he's the right decision maker?
Very hard to say. I have to say I'm not active on LinkedIn at all. I
Okay.
don't browse it. I don't post it. So I'm not a good person to advise anyone on LinkedIn influence. And sometimes in LinkedIn also is, at least I would feel that, or any other social media, is not easily a good place to begin,
Okay.
because you don't know what is the intent of the post that someone is doing. Some people are doing self-promotion posts, some people are doing educational posts, reflection posts, all of those types of posts. So just by reading a post of an individual that I don't know, it's hard for me to judge who they are, what they want, what can I do with them. So
Okay.
I don't know myself, and which is the reason I'm not very active on LinkedIn to say that what to do with that. I would think that the ideal way would be to
Okay.
find personal connection in whichever one can, and
Okay.
find out about those individuals and try to meet them informally if possible, and so on and so forth.